Hey guys, it's Tim from Touchdown Jacksonville, and we're here today in the depths of Everbank Field in the Jaguars meeting room. We're talking to Ryan Robinson from the Jaguars Communications Department. Ryan, could you describe your job with the Jaguars?
Yeah, it's a little bit of jack of all trades. My main role is the communications manager, which I control all the player interviews. So anytime a media outlet wants to interview one of our players, they'll go through our department, work with Dan Edwards, who is our senior vice president. He handles, Mr. Weaver and Coach Del Rio, and I handle most of the players. But basically, the best way to describe it is dealing with the players every day. Anytime the players are here, I'm here. You can probably see from my eyes after about 10 straight night practices. A little tired, but also playing a large role in community relations, which is very important to our owners. So we try to work with our players on getting out in the community and doing different things, which I want the people of Jacksonville to know there's no other team that does as much as our players do in the community.
What would you say is probably the best part of your job?
Well, I'm a people person, so dealing with people, whether it's media, whether it's players, I enjoy that aspect of it. There's good parts and bad parts. I mean, the bad parts are the hours, but when I go into work, I don't consider it a job.
Right.
Every day is – I never wake up and go, man, I got to go to work at the Jaguars. I wake up with a smile on my face, and anybody that knows me will tell you that. I don't get in bad moods. There's a lot of worse jobs you could have.
Yeah, definitely. So you deal with the players a lot. Can you give us like one specific player story that really stands out to you?
God, there's so many. I mean, if I told some of the best stories, I would probably wouldn't be alive tomorrow. But you know what? I think the best stories come from so much of the public gets to see these guys when they have their guard up a little bit. Fortunately, in my position, I get to see these guys all the time where their guard is down. People don't understand. These guys come in on, Mondays, and they talk about the football games that happen on Sunday, or what happened on Lost,
right?
Or what happened on another show on Discovery Channel, or John and Kate.
Right.
So they're very normal people, and I think that's where the best stories. I can remember John Henderson, who I think all Jaguar fans will remember. Such a, has this look of just wanting to destroy you. I mean, everybody knows he used to get slapped before every game. John, in his spare time, loved to go to Bed Bath & Beyond and these other places. He loved to decorate different rooms in his house. And I'll never forget one time, it was probably my second year here, I overheard a conversation. I was walking through the locker room. He was talking to one of the other linemen about a show he watched last night and how they took this space and just made it unbelievable, how they created so much different space. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, no fan in their right mind would think John Henderson right now is sitting here talking about how to make a tight space, more accessible for his clothes.
So, Ryan, who are some of the players do you think are going to have a breakout year this year?
Well, I think there's a bunch. Luke Richardson, our strength coach, is really just went above and beyond with our group. I think the main one, the Times Union had a story on him recently, is Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes, the last 2 years, he used to always fly back to California on the weekend. He missed some of our off-season conditioning program. This year he was in Jacksonville full-time. And I think he is going to be – I'd almost be surprised if Mercedes is not a Pro Bowl tight end this year. Other guys, I think you've got guys like Eugene Monroe and Evan Britton that are now in the system for another year. I think they're going to be, dominant tackles at their position. We just need them both to be healthy. They weren't healthy for the first preseason game. But those two guys, I also think a kid, Rashad Jennings, running back, I think he's going to help lessen the load for Maurice a little bit. And I love the two returners that Gene Smith brought in, Deji Kareem and Scotty McGee.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I think they're going to have some plays where fans are going to be talking about on Monday morning around the water cooler. So we have a lot of young guys that people don't understand. It's hard to play as a rookie. So now guys like Terrence Knight and Derek Cox, now that they have experience, they're going to get better. Gene Smith is building the team the right way. So I can't wait. I'm just like every other fan. I can't wait to start.
So going back to the players, and you were talking earlier with Tim about John Henderson, are there any other players that may have a persona on the field that fans might think that's different off the field?
Yeah, the one guy that comes to mind is Daryl Smith. Daryl Smith, any fan's probably met him. He is one of the quietest guys when you see him out. Daryl Smith is quite possibly one of the funniest players I've ever been around. He's a locker room jokester. He's always laughing. I've never seen him in a bad mood. Always smiling. Brad Meester. Everybody thinks of Brad. Brad is a funny guy. You know, those kind of guys just keep to themselves. They're never looking for publicity. Like, you'll never see Daryl say, "Hey, Ryan, you know, I want to get a story." They're not looking for publicity. Now, I personally think the funniest guy on our team, and I think fans are starting to get to know on Twitter, is Gerald Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald has a quick wit about him, and, you know, I've seen players will say something to him, and he's got a quick trigger where he's got a great comeback line. We got a great locker room. We have some funny players that I think more and more as fans get to know them, we'll start to see their personality, because everybody knows Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
And Maurice is, I mean, you're not going to find him without a smile on his face. But like I tell those guys, hey, you're living the dream.
Yeah.
You should be smiling.
Exactly. So I don't know if you guys know it or not, but this is the Jaguar Insider on Twitter. Haha, it's revealed. Do you have any inside information that you might want to throw away right now?
Well, I'll tell you some inside information. I don't know when this is going to air. Tonight at 5 o'clock in this room, a lot of people don't know, the rookies will be putting on, they call it the Rookie Show.
Okay.
So you all see all these rookies around with funny-looking haircuts, and Tyson's missing an eyebrow. Well, tonight, the rookies have revenge on the veterans. So basically, for about 30 minutes, these rookies will make fun of the veterans, the coaches, and anything goes. Maurice Jones-Drew, David Groy, they're not off limits to these rookies. So they've kind of been working on this show for about 3 days.
Nice.
And I wish we could show it to the public, but I'm
So
afraid there's too much stuff that goes on that can't be shown. But they have a really good time with it, and I think the veterans, sometimes they're surprised that the rookies will go as far as they will. So I think people have seen it like on Hard Knocks and these other shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's the treat of camp, so it should be fun.
Nice. It's kind of like a roast they have on Comedy Central. But
It is. It
Nice.
is exactly like that, where you go, "Oh my gosh, he just said that."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what will happen tonight.
So the Jaguars have had like less than flattering press in the past. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the national media, or you wish that they knew?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I think it's frustrating for all Jaguar fans when they see the word blackout and they see Jacksonville. But it's happening all across the league. There are blackouts. I think Carl Cannon said it best the other day. With what Team Teal has done, I think other teams are going to start following suit. But the national media just needs to realize that we have the right guy in place in Gene Smith and Jack Del Rio. Gene is building the team the right way through the draft. You don't win in the NFL by just going out and signing a bunch of free agents. So Gene is building it the right way. He's got the right character guys. I think people have seen that. You're not going to see off the field incidents and all that stuff. These are the right guys. And no one wins in the NFL every year. You don't win 14 games. I've seen Tony Baselli talk about that. So I want the fans here to have pride in their team, because we're going to be good. There's no reason to make a guarantee for this year, but we've got some great pieces in place. And I think the national media, what's going to happen is they'll come here. They'll see what's happening, and they'll come here. As Maurice says, we got some room on the bandwagon. They can jump on. We'll be fine with it.
Yeah, we're America's team.
That's right. We're America's team, if you didn't know. So we have room for them, and they're just doing their job. I think people get so frustrated by the media sometimes. They're doing their job. A lot of them don't know hardly anything about our team. But this is a good team, and we have some great national writers that have come in, and they know that we're building it the right way. But you got to do it out on the field. Our players know that. You can talk all you want. You have to do it on the field.
I agree. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for all that you and Tim do. I think you all have really added a lot to the fan base, and I know we're Twitter friends ourselves.
Yes,
so,
we're Twitter friends.
But I think all the information is getting out there now, so we really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to show you all my special Reebok shoes that I usually wear on the first day of training camp and on the last day of training camp. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can buy these somewhere, but they're Reebok shoes. Actually, some of the players love them. Of course, some of them laugh at me for them, but I don't really care because they were free, most of all, and everybody knows that if it's free, it's me. But I love these shoes. I always wear them on the first and last day of camp. So go out and get yourself a pair. I have no idea where you can buy them, but they are Reebok and they're NFL licensed, so I'm sure you can get them somewhere. Wear them to the game. It'd be a great thing to wear to the game with your teal shirt.